Welcome to the Oklahoma Home and Community Education Leader Lesson for February 2021. This leader lesson is provided for the members of Craig, Delaware, Mayes, and Ottawa counties. Navigating the virtual world. Technology plays an important role in how we communicate in today's world, especially during COVID-19. Whether it's a FaceTime with our loved ones or a telehealth visit with our doctors, digital communication has woven its way into our day-to-day lives. When it comes to technology, there's no denying that while it's a convenient tool, it can also be very confusing to some. Our goal for this OHCE leader lesson is to provide you with the options for staying connected to OHCE. We will be highlighting 3 programs that we feel are options that can work for you: Zoom, Facebook Rooms, and Google Duo. If you have access to the internet and a computer, whether it's a desktop, laptop, or a tablet, or even a smartphone, you are ready to go.
Hi, I'm Kathy Inyard. I'm the Extension Educator in Ottawa County, and today I'd like to share with you a little bit about a program called Zoom. So let me share my screen. Zoom is a web conferencing service that became one of the most popular software apps in 2020. It enables you to virtually interact with others. It allows you to host meetings, have virtual parties, interact with your family, watch events, and so much more. It will work with virtually any type of computer device as long as you have access to the internet. So whether you have a desktop, a laptop, some type of tablet, or even your smartphone, you can use Zoom. You will just need to download the Zoom app, which you can get from zoom.us, or on your mobile device, you can download the app through your app store. You do not have to have an account to use Zoom unless you are planning to be the host of a meeting. So whoever is the host will send you an invitation. You'll usually receive that through a text message or an email. And there by the top arrow, you will see the link to the meeting. So once you get that invitation, you simply need to click on the link, and that will take you to the Zoom site. Once you are there, if you have not downloaded the app yet, it will prompt you to do so. And then once that is downloaded, then you will be entering the meeting. Most of the links will already have the meeting ID embedded in it. However, if you get prompted for the meeting ID number, it should be in the text or email that you received from the host, and it's a 9 to 11 digit number. I have it there with the smaller arrow that you would enter, and then that will take you to the meeting. Once you're in the meeting, it will prompt you to check your speakers and your microphone. So I encourage you to test those to make sure that they're working and make any adjustments necessary. You will also have the opportunity to see the video or the camera to see what you look like. If you want to change your background, you could do that too. I will tell you that if you get a prompt that says that the meeting host will let you in, that's becoming more common as a security feature. And so just wait patiently, and the meeting host will allow you to actually enter the Zoom meeting. Once the screen pops up, you'll see some other pictures or a black square that has their name on it, of all of those that are attending the meeting. Along the bottom of the screen is the menu. If that happens to not be there or disappears, you just need to use your mouse or your cursor and take it over that area and it will pop back up. But those are the main features that you will use to control your part of the meeting. So if we start on the left-hand side of that menu, it is the unmute and mute button or the stop video. So if the picture of the microphone on this picture has a red line through it, that means that you wouldn't be able to hear me speaking during the meeting. So most of the time the participants will have their microphones off or muted so that the background noise isn't disruptive to the meeting. And then when you need to speak, you just simply click on that and your microphone will be activated again. Same way with the stop video. If you don't want your picture showing, you can click on the video camera there and your video will, or your picture will not be shown, and they will just see your name. And then when you want to reappear, you just click on it again and the video will be activated again. In the middle of the screen is the chat button. That is where you can communicate with each other by typing. So if you click on the chat button, a extra box will come up on your screen and you can see the communication that is taking place with the participants. You can type in a question or add to the conversation. You can also click on it again and it will disappear and you can bring it back up simply by clicking that chat button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. In the top right-hand corner is where you select the view that you want to see. So right now, the way that it's showing on your screen has my picture larger than the other, so that is called the speaker view. So I was the one who was talking at the time, so my picture became bigger than the others. You also have gallery view where you can see everyone else and everyone's picture is about the same size. Some people call that the Brady Bunch view, but that's simply clicking the buttons up there in the right-hand corner and determining which view you want. Some meetings will allow you to teleconference, which means you would call in using your mobile phone. You will be provided with all of these phone numbers. You simply select one, call it, then you will probably be prompted to enter that meeting ID. So have that handy so that you can enter that when needed, and then you will have access to the meeting, just like the other times. It is becoming more popular to add a passcode to the meetings because that adds another layer of security to the meetings and keeps people who shouldn't be in the meetings from attending. So the passcode would also be provided in your invitation that your host would send out. It might be numbers, it can be a word. It just depends on how the host decides to set it up. Zoom is a free program to get the basic features that most of your OHCE meetings probably can utilize. A basic program or basic Zoom account would allow unlimited meetings if you were just meeting one-on-one. So maybe you and your family talking back and forth where you can have a video and see each other. That is unlimited, so there's no time limit of how long you stay in that Zoom meeting. However, once you add a third computer, then you are limited to 100 participants, and the meeting can only go up to 40 minutes. So once you reach 40 minutes, your meeting will shut off. If that happens, you can log off. And then log back in and basically have a second meeting and have another 40 minutes. However, that can be quite a hassle. So the lowest level of a paid Zoom account right now is around $15, so that's not very expensive. That is per month. But if you are having an OHCE meeting or an extension-related event, contact your extension office because they probably have an OSU account where they can be the host or co-host of the meeting and allow you to have a meeting with some of these items that are limited. They would be unlimited, and it wouldn't cost you anything. So reach out to your extension office. If you want to be a host for a meeting, there's just a few more buttons we would need to share with you and help you get things set up. Just reach out to your extension educator and we'd be glad to help you do that. It's really not hard to host a meeting. Once you do it, you just learn as you go. So we hope that you will consider using Zoom as a possibility for meeting with your fellow OHCE members and having some of your local and county meetings. Just reach out to us and let us help you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This is Terry Lee from the Craig County OSU Extension Office. I know that we faced many obstacles in 2020. We had to find creative ways of staying in touch with our family, friends, and fellow OHCE members. It's been a long time since we've been able to get together, and we've really missed you. In 2021, we want to get back on track with the OHCE groups having monthly meetings, even if it has to be virtual. I want to show you about a tool that is available to everybody. It's called Facebook Room or Facebook Messenger Room. It's very easy to use, and I think that you will enjoy using it for your OHCE meetings, as well as when you want to visit with your family and friends while seeing them at the same time. I've got a PowerPoint that I want to share to help explain how to use Facebook Room. And one of the first things that I want to point out is that you can utilize it with your phone or your computer. It doesn't matter if it's a laptop, a tablet, or a desk computer. Any of the three will work. So what is Facebook Room, you might ask? Well, it's a video chat room. It's a great way to stay connected, and it's a great way for you all to have your monthly OHCE meetings until it's safe to do so in person. One thing that you need is a person to create the room, a host. And the host will schedule the meeting and invite all the guests that they would like to attend. That would include your OHCE members, any guests that you want to invite, and any new potential members. Now, this task of setting up the meeting could be given to the same person all year long. For example, the president or your secretary could do this for all 12 of your meetings. In fact, they'd get pretty good at it if they did that. Or if you'd rather, you can rotate it and have somebody different do it every time. But whoever does create this room that you're going to have your meetings in, they have to be present on the day of the meeting because they're responsible to start the call and end the call. They also have some other duties, which would include letting the participants in for the meeting. They can remove participants from the meeting. You know, we have hacking going on social media these days, and so you might have somebody join your meeting that you don't want. So the person who created the meeting, the host, can kick them out. Facebook rooms can hold up to 50 people. There's no cost involved, and there's no time limit on the meetings. There's also a privacy feature. So only those people you want to know that there's a room will know that there's a room. Another thing is that you might want to remember is that when your members receive an invitation to go to the meeting, they are capable of forwarding that invitation to their friends. So you might have some unexpected guests at your meeting that you didn't know was coming, which is a good thing because you might get some new members that way. On the other hand, you might end up with some people that you didn't particularly want to come. So either way, you have the option of removing people from the room or welcoming them to the room. Now, my next two slides are specific step-by-step instructions on how to set up a room. And this is for the host. So like I said, if the same person is going to do it all year long, they're the only one that really needs to know this. But it's always good to be educated and find out how to do new things. It looks complicated by the number of instructions here, but it's really not. So I'm going to skip over them for now because you're going to get, a copy of them later. But for now, let's just go straight to the fun part. So this is the one for the computer. The other was for the phone. This is what it really looks like. So the screen on the left is what your phone looks like, and the screen on the right is what your computer looks like. And again, this is just for the host. So let's look at the one on the left first. Once the host logs onto their Facebook account, oh, and I might mention this, the host does need to have a Facebook account, but the people you invite do not. And I'm going to show you how you can invite people without a Facebook account here in a little bit. But the host should log on to their Facebook account, then look at the top right-hand part of their screen, and they will see a button that says Room. Next to it is a little purple icon that looks like a video recorder. I've got it circled there in red. All you have to do to get the ball rolling is to click that button. Now, on your computer, on the right side, the host will log into their account on Facebook, and again, at the top right of their screen, they will see some buttons. The first button is a picture of your profile with your name next to it. And next to that is a button with a plus sign. All you have to do is click that button to get the ball rolling. This next screen shows, no matter if you're on your phone or your computer, this is what your next screen will look like. It's called Create Your Room. So the first thing you have to do is name your room. So in my case, I named mine the Craig County OHCE room. If I were doing this for a local club, I would have just said Harmony HCE, for example. The second line, once you push the button on the right, will let you set the date and time of your meeting. So you can see mine says Tuesday at 11 a.m. Once you click that button, it gets a little more specific. So you could actually say, January 12th, Tuesday, January 12th, 11 a.m. Now, there's a lot of options on there. You can pick a time that's just 5 minutes apart if you want. So I could have picked 11:05 or 11:10. One thing to remember, though, when you're scheduling the meeting as the host, although you could do it literally 30 minutes before your meeting starts, that wouldn't be very friendly to your guest. You want to do this a week ahead of time, at least 3 or 4 days ahead of time, so that your guests have plenty of time to know when and where your meeting is going to be. Also, as the host, even though your meeting starts at 11, since you have to let everybody in, you need to get on about 15 minutes early and encourage your guests to come about 5 minutes early. The third button says Room Visibility, and there is a little button you can push left or right. What this is asking is, do you want your Facebook room to be visible to all your Facebook friends? And the answer to that is no. If you have several hundred people as your Facebook friends, you don't want them to all know about your room. And if they all came, you wouldn't have room for your members. So it's best to keep that to the left where it says no. The last step on this page is to click the blue button at the bottom that says Create a Room. The next screen looks something like this. Up there where the top red arrow is, it's pointing to a little gray box that has a link in it. This is where you can invite people who don't have Facebook to your meeting. The host would have to copy and paste that link and then send it to guests that don't have Facebook in an email or a text. And then all that guest has to do is click on that on the day of the meeting and they can come. Let's skip down to the third red arrow. That's pointing to a list of all my Facebook friends. So let's just pretend that I wanted to invite Mary, Carolyn, and Tammy. All I have to do to invite them is click that blue button to the right of their name that says Invite. But let's say that I also want to invite Susie. And, Susie may be, way down on my list because, this list will scroll. I can scroll it up and down to find the people I want. But if I just can't find Susie, I can go up there kind of where that second red arrow is pointing to That is a search engine line. So I could type in Susie's name and her name will come up, and then I can invite her that way. So that's 2 different ways that you can invite people, and then 3 if you count the way that you can send that link to people who aren't on Facebook. The last step is to push that blue button at the bottom that says Join Room. And you might think, well, I don't want to join that room today because the meeting isn't until next week. But you have to, as the host, go ahead and click that button, because if you don't, those invitations will not be sent out. So the host will go ahead and click that blue button, and then later next week they'll enter the room through their invitation instead. So speaking of invitations, each one of the guests will receive an invitation that will look like one or both of these things. When we were playing around with it, Kathy Inyart, Penny Meredith, and I, we realized that you can get an invitation in more than one way. The top one is what it might look like if it comes through your Facebook Messenger app. So as you can see, it looks like Craig County OHCE invited Mary Smith to join the meeting on January the 12th at 2:45 p.m. So on that day, January 12th, that person just needs to go to their Facebook Messenger app and click that button, and they will be taken to the room. Another way we found that you might receive an invitation is simply on your news feed if you have a Facebook page. So you just simply log into your Facebook, go to your page, the one that's just for you, and look for this invitation. And on the day of the meeting, all you have to do is click that button. You can barely see it, but it does say Join Room in that little gray box, and you'll be taken to the meeting. Of course, those people that don't have Facebook will get their invitation through an email or through a text if it was sent to them. Now, let's look at the fun part. This is what it looks like when the meeting is actually taking place. On the left is what it looks like on your phone, and on the right is what it looks like on your computer. So let's look at the left side first. So on the left is a picture of me right off the bat, and it's me sitting there by myself. And in this situation, I'm the host. So I'm there 15 minutes early, and I'm waiting for my guest to arrive. And the day we were practicing, I had sent an invitation to Kathy and to Penny, but they weren't showing up in my room. Well, we realized at the bottom of my screen is some little words, and it basically says, let your guest in. So I should have clicked on that button. I could have seen Kathy's name and Penny's name, and I could have just simply tapped their name to let them in. Or basically it says yes or no, let them in. So you have an option. So as you can see by the pretty flower in Penny's hair, you can actually change your appearance too once you're in there. They have a little app on there where you can be different characters. At one time, Penny was a pink unicorn. So, the more you practice, the more fun you'll have. And that's kind of what we want. This is a learning tool, and it's a great resource for everybody, but it's also a way to have fun. On the right side of the screen is kind of what it looks like if you were on your computer. And this is my preferred method because, on your phone, if you were to have 10 or 15 people, their little pictures of their face would be pretty small. But if you were using your laptop, then everybody's picture would be quite large. So at the top on the black screen is kind of what it looks like while I'm sitting there waiting to let my guest in. And at the bottom is what it looks like when they're all there. Now remember, some people won't want to turn on their cameras, and so you will see just a black square with their name on it. But I would encourage everyone to turn on their cameras and turn on their microphones, and that way you can see everybody, and you can have a lot more fun because it will seem like everybody's in the same room. The only thing is you won't get refreshments like you would in your normal meeting. So really, that's it. We realize that your first meeting might not go as smooth as, your 10th one will, but, we're all still learning, and that's part of the fun. We suggest that you practice on your own or with your friends before you try to be a host for the first time. I had to practice several times before I got the hang of it, so we're no different. We have confidence in you, and we know that you will be successful as we navigate these uncharted waters. Don't forget that you can call your educator at the OSU Extension office and even have them help you your first time if you wish. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Penny Meredith from Delaware County Extension. Today, I will be showing you how to use Google Duo. What is Google Duo? Duo is the highest quality video calling app. It's free, simple, and works on Android phones, iPhones, tablets, and laptops. First, to set up your Google Duo, you will install it from your App Store. Verify your phone number, connect to your Google account, and tap Agree after you verify your number on Duo. The app lets you reach people in your phone's contact list. No separate account is required. You can also do a group call on Duo. Open the Duo app. On the screen, swipe up, tap Create Group, choose your contacts, and tap Video Call. This is the way that I connect with my children who have iPhones and I have a Droid.
Technology is a great tool for staying connected with friends and loved ones. These will not only help you feel connected to your fellow OHCE members, but also will keep your mind and body active during a time when it can be hard to do so. There are many great tutorials available online for just about any program you want to use and learn about. Let us help you with a practice session or two. As with most things, the more you use them, the more comfortable you will become. So please reach out to us and let us help you get your meetings going so that we can all be connected once again.